do we need such big words?
Listen, don't hate me because I know words that are bigger than you know. It just is a fact of life. I'm better at everything than you.
I'm gonna say that's a lie.
You can't get your dog under control.
It's not my fault that he's old and dying.
But Melissa honestly thinks that she's genuine, which is what I think is the saddest part of this, because she's not genuine.
No, she has a reason why she's trying to become friends with Kathy.
Melissa being friends with Kathy doesn't surprise me at all. Melissa always becomes friends with the new people in the studio.
And before she even goes on, I had a thought, which I'm sure everybody did, which makes them think that, so she makes friends really easily, but she just can't keep them.
I think she has a hard time keeping friends because people see through her.
And I'm like, boo, I was freaking right.
We saw through her from the beginning.
Also, I'm not sure if you recognize, but Kelly in this interview that these clips are taken from, she's literally sitting in your closet. It's just like a freaking tornado went through. It's atrocious.
Not in my closet.
Yeah.
Try my husband's closet.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever. It's just awful.
She is very good at making friends and using them for a personal gain. That's just how Melissa rolls.
And we see that. And we continue to see that today.
Very clearly.
She will befriend people and she will use them for any chance she gets. Any chance she gets.
This is an acro dance. Everybody knows that's Brooke's forte.
Absolutely.
Brooke should be front and center.
Maddie's not front and center in this dance.
But Melissa is so quick to point out that Maddie's not in the center of this dance.
But if you watch the dance later, Brooke is the featured performer in the entire thing. So maybe she's not in the front and the center because they don't stand in two lines the whole time. But she's always the featured performer in this entire dance.
Confronting Abby is very difficult. I've been doing it for years, ever since I was one of her students, and I still get a little scared.
Ma'am,
Wait.
why? Why do you get scared? And also, why is this like so high stakes? But also, what is the atrocity that is her shirt, scarf, same color, fringy situation?
It looks like an octopus on her, actually.
It
It really does. It looks like an octopus. Okay.
Kelly, did you go snorkeling and then smuggle back an octopus and wear it around your neck for today? It's awful. And it's the same color, so I don't get it. I don't get the look.
I love a good scarf. Okay,
Oh.
love a good scarf.
We stan a scarf in this house.
But I learned at a very young age, your scarf and your shirt color should not match.
No.
They should match, but like not the same color match.
Exactly. They should go together, but they don't have to match.
Right, because a scarf is just an accessory.
Exactly.
Okay, octopus on her neck or assless chaps?
And being the horse girl in the room, you would know all about the assless chaps, wouldn't you?
Well, they're actually called just full chaps, not assless chaps. And they also can come with fringe on them, so you're welcome.
We all fell asleep.
No, you didn't.
I hope everybody enjoyed that nap.
What's the problem with us?
She's an acro dancer.
She's not at the top of the pyramid for the week of an acro dance?
It's just because she's always brooding and miserable. That's not the Brooke I know.
She's at the bottom of the pyramid, Abby. You mean to tell me Chloe is above her in the pyramid in a gymnastics?
It's not based on the acro dance.
It's based on last week.
Brooke is kind of going through that junior high business that they all go through, and she really is an amazing acrobat, and I don't want her to lose that or give that up.
So my question is, if they all go through it, then why are you punishing Brooke? Why? Why are you holding Brooke to this standard specifically that they all go through, and so you're so shocked and appalled that Brooke is acting like everybody else and having opinions and is getting annoyed and bored because she's dancing with someone who's 7 years younger than her.
Right. I honestly think that if Brooke were dancing with kids her age or up, she would have been much more inclined to be a happier, less brooding Brooke, is what they call her.
Yes, because she's bored. This is exactly what happens to kids in school. Kids in school act out a lot of times because they're bored. Our brother did. And Kelly asks when Brooke does not go out and pull it off, and Abby throws her under the bus about the tap dance, and Abby is just like laughing about it, and Kelly reminds her that Brooke's...
The face that she makes.
I know, but it's also just like so rude. Abby, you are Brooke's teacher. You're the one who taught her how to tap. If she's not a good tapper, maybe it's your fault. But also, not everyone has to be a frickin' perfect, amazing tapper.
I did not like tap.
I know.
There was a lot of things I didn't like as a child. If you would like the list, I'll give it to you.
You guys don't have the time nor the energy. Just say no.
Brooke used to be Abby's favorite. She had her front and center in every number, had her having 900 privates every week, and I think Abby burns you out.
How about the fact that you're saying she did 900 privates a week? I think you burned her out, not just Abby.
Right, exactly. Abby didn't force her to do those privates. You're her mom, you signed her up for it, so you are also to blame. So you and Abby burned her out. But also, where are you? Ma'am, where are you? Blink twice if you need help, because you look like you are out in the middle of Willy Wonkaville, because it is like a freaking candy shop where she's being interviewed. It's a lot. It is a lot.
I would like to visit.
Yeah.
So send me a postcard.
Yeah.
The Brooke you know is now a teenager and is changing.
Well, you need to nip that in the bud because you don't want her to change.
Maybe she wants to do teenage things.
I don't think it's that easy. I've seen changes already, and it saddens me, Kelly.
What, am I going to force her to come to class?
And I'm at this moment thinking that Kelly clearly did not graduate from the Randy and Debbie School of Parenting, because if you sign a child up for a thing and you pay for a thing, you do the thing, period, end of story. If you hate it and want to stop at the end of the year or the end of the agreed upon length of time, that's fine. But you've committed and you've paid, and come hell or high water and broken legs, you will be there.
Y'all, you don't understand. You just don't understand.
We did a lot of things, but we had to be committed for the entire season, the entire year, whatever it was. We had to be committed, and if they paid for it, we went. End of story. There was no discussion. You did it. At the end of the year, if you didn't want to do it again, there was a conversation. Most likely they didn't listen if you wanted to stop it. They didn't really care that much.
No.
But there was at least a conversation.
Sometimes.
It was more like, I hate the thing. Mom said, too bad, you're still doing it.
Pretty much. Like, and Dad was like,
yeah.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
It's really hard to get through to them and say, but you have this gift. Don't throw it all away.
But like in this moment, Kelly's trying to make sure her kids like her. It's very obvious that like she's worried about her kids liking her and not rebelling.
I know you're very happy with your life. You have a wonderful house. You have a wonderful husband. You got a nice guy. But Kelly, think of what you could have been. You settled. You settled, and you're letting your kid do the same thing.
If my mom would have told me I had to come to dance class, I would have rebelled.
Okay, I need you to miss me with this bullshit. Why, again, are we back to acting like being a professional dancer is like the pinnacle of life, and being a mother is like the worst thing ever possible? Not everyone can be a professional dancer. Not everyone is built for that life, and guys, I'm just gonna die on this hill.
There's a lot of hills we're gonna die on.
And this is one of them. Some people want to be a mom. She's not settling. If that's what she wanted out of her life, she's not settling.
So I think Abby comes at it like you had this gift and you were amazing and you threw it all away for a guy.
Yeah, but if she doesn't have that passion for it, she's not going to love what she's doing every single day, so it doesn't really matter. If she's not happy and fulfilled with her life, then what the hell does it matter?
Well, I get that, okay? But I think in this moment, Abby just says, well, I mean, you could have done all these things and been great and amazing, but you chose the guy. So
Okay.
Good for you, Kelly. Good for you.
But she also now has 3 amazing kids who are great people, at least from what we see, and are contributing members of society. So, like, I don't think Kelly settled. I don't think she did. And if she has other feelings about it, she can let us know. But,
Well, it's her life. Let her live it.
exactly, let her do her, okay?
And Kelly was my student. She was gorgeous and worked really hard and was very dedicated up until about 12 or 13. And now the same thing's happening with Brooke, like mother, like daughter.
But later on, we hear that Kelly was so lazy. All she wanted to do was chat with boys. She never worked hard. She always came late to dance class. So right now, we're hearing a very different story than we hear later on, which I think is weird.
So, like, what's the truth?
That's what I want to know.
Your girl needs to know.
Kayam nosy AF.
Cheerleading, all of her friends from school cheer. So I think that's why Brooke wants to...
So you're gonna send her to cheerleading so she can shake her pom-poms for some boy to go to college for free?
My only thought at that is Abby was clearly bullied by a cheerleader.
I'm gonna say it was probably Kelly.
I mean, probably, but also, like, that energy at that moment. just makes me believe that Abby was really bullied.
Yeah, probably.
Abby's crazy. I don't think Abby's ever forgiven me for quitting dance. You know, I've moved on. I have a life. I have a family now. And at the end of the day, all Abby has is an empty studio.
That's true, and that's sad. And look at her now. You know, Kelly has 3 kids. Yeah, she might be going through a divorce right now, but she has 3 amazing kids. And 10 years on, Abby doesn't have anyone who's really stuck by her. All her family has passed on, and she doesn't have her studios as thriving. She's lost that. She lost her TV deal. She went to jail. She has cancer. It just all escalated really quickly. 0 to 100. Real quick.
Well, that's life.
So now we're at the Highland house, and they're getting ready for dance, and we see their brother. The brother sighting.
I feel like I'm dancing too much just because I never have time to hang out with my friends because they're always inviting me to do stuff, but I can never do it because of dance. And I feel like my mom really wants me to dance just because she doesn't want me to screw up and quit dance and be a cheerleader like she did.
I can say you can do both. I promise you can do both.
I don't know. I think it's pretty difficult, lemon difficult.
Then they're just screaming at each other, and I was like,
Oh,
felt
God.
bad.
I had that conversation a time or 20.
Yeah, just screaming at my mother from a separate floor. Yeah. Definitely had that conversation. Brooke doesn't want to go because it's boring, and I'm like, yeah,
It
dancing.
is probably boring when
Yeah.
you're dancing with a 7-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Mackenzie's 6. She's still 6, remember? She's still 6 in
Oh,
this episode.
excuse me.
Yeah, so she's 7 years younger. She's a 6-year-old. Anyways, math, it's hard. It's fine.
Casey and Claudia asked me to go to the mall, but I can't go because I have dance like always.
Do you think they became Junior Miss Dance from going to the mall?
No, they're cheerleaders.
And I don't understand why parents do this. She wants to go to the mall. She's upset she can't go. She doesn't care about the long-term impacts of potentially quitting dance. She just wants to go to the mall this weekend. Her frontal lobe hasn't formed. She just wants to go to the frickin' mall and buy a new Vera Bradley something.
But I have that Vera Bradley backpack. It's upstairs.
I tried to explain to her when I quit dance, all I did was go out with my friends and we went to the mall and I got nothing out of it.
Bullseye.
Yeah, but ma'am, don't say that to Brooke because that's literally all's Brooke wants to do. She just wants to go to the frickin' mall and be a kid.
Uh-huh.
You committed to it. You have to go. So let's go.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
It only took 20 minutes.
Yes, thank goodness. So there we are. Vivi gets some private lesson time. Kathy drops her off for the hour and a half to go to lunch with Melissa, and I am pleasantly surprised. I like that she's giving her alone time with Abby because then Vivi doesn't have to be watching Abby out of one eye and then her mom out of the other eye. I think it's really good that she can just focus on listening to what Abby's saying and not worrying what her mom's saying in the corner.
Valid.
I appreciate that she's giving her this time.
Vivi is cute. She's a nice little girl, but she's not at the level that Kathy thinks she is. I don't know if privates with me are really what she needs, but hey, if the check's clear, let's do it.
Love a self-aware queen. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, really, though.
We just love a self-aware queen.
Vivi is not strong in acrobatics. Her jumps, her leaps are not as strong, and she hasn't learned a lot of the things. She's dancing at a 5-6-year-old level instead of a 7, 8, 9. Vivi needs to step it up.
Ma'am, she's 6, so if she's dancing like a 6-year-old, then fine.
But also, I don't feel like Mackenzie's dancing at a 7, 8, 9-year-old level.
No, I think she just has a higher trick bag, if that makes sense. The tricks that she can do in acro are just more vast than Vivi's. Yeah. Melissa and Kathy are on their lunch date.
This lunch date, y'all. This lunch date.
I have to say that the Church Brew Works in Pittsburgh looks like a really cool place. I love the vibe. Obviously, it's an old church, and they kept the pews and the organ. I just think that's really cool because it's different.
Very different. But Kathy's trying to get that tea
I know.
about the husbands.
Yeah, which I think is weird. Kelly's husband works for the family business, which the way she says that just makes me think I don't think this is true, obviously, Randy. I mean, I don't know. But when she says that, I'm the only family business I can think of is he's in the mafia.
I mean, are you?
Because just the way she says, he works for the family business, which just to me is the cover for saying,
Pew pew.
he's part of the mafia. And then Chrissy's husband works for Children's Hospital as a writer.
And Kathy's he's a doctor?
Yeah, but Melissa has no idea what a writer at a children's hospital does, which is, I think it's funny. And then Holly's husband apparently has a new job, and he was working in nonprofit organizations, and that's hard work. I'll just say that because I work for a nonprofit.
Props to you.
So nonprofit work is hard.
But then Kathy.
So, what does your husband do?
Yeah, and then Melissa has this awkward face. I mean, her face is awkward just in general.
I'm going through a divorce right now, so I'm no...
Melissa did not tell me that she was living with another man who was paying for her daughter's dance lessons. I got that from the other moms, so I already knew that.
And I'm like,
Ooh,
I love that
the
everyone's
shade.
I love that everyone's talking. I love that so much.
Does it seem, Melissa, like you're really, really, really close with some of those other moms?